Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya'i wal Mursaleen wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa zurriyyati ajma'een, amma ba'd. Fa'auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Maliki yawmiddin, sovereign of the day of recompense. The word Malik has been derived from the root Malik, which signifies possessing a thing in such a manner that one has right and power to dispose of it as one like. And the word deen signifies requital. So the phrase masters of the day of requital implies total mastery on the day of requital. But there is no mention of the thing or things to which this mastery would apply. According to the Imam Zamakhshari rahimahullah, the phrase makes a general reference to cover everything. That's to say, on the day of requital, the mastery over everything that exists will belong to Allah alone. But there are two important questions. Number one, what is the day of requital? And number two, Allah being the master of everything even today, as much as the day of requital. Why does this word specifically mention the day of requital? So the answer of the first question is that the day of requital or the day of judgment is the day appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to recompense good or evil deeds. The world is only the field of action, the place where one is required to perform one's duty, not the place for receiving one's reward. The mere fact that man happens to be healthy and wealthy or powerful does not necessarily argue that he has won the pleasure and favor of Allah. Similarly, the mere fact that man happens to be ill, weak, poor, or miserable does not by itself indicate that he is the object of Allah's wrath. Even in the case of worldly life, would it not be a platitude to remark that a man sweating in a factory or an office does not consider it a misfortune? In fact, try to deprive him of his opportunity to sweat, and you would have earned his deepest displeasure. Because for beyond all this toil, he can glimpse the reward he is going to get after 30 days in the shape of wages. So it steadily follows that beyond this world, there should be another world where every deed, big or small, good or evil, is to be judged and then justly rewarded or punished. This is the Holy Quran called Al-Akhirah, the world to come. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Inna as-sa'ata la'atiyatun. Indeed, the hours of retribution is sure to come. La rayba fiha, no doubt about it. Walakinna akthara an-nasi la ya'lamun, yet most people do not believe. And the second question is that Allah being the master of everything as much as the day of requital, why does this word specifically mention the day of requital? So the answer is, the real and complete mastery over everything no doubt belongs to Allah alone, even in this world. But Allah Himself, in His beneficence and wisdom, has granted a kind of imperfect, temporary and apparent mastery to man as well. And the Sharia, in laying down laws for worldly affairs, has given due consideration to man's limited right of ownership. But today, in possessing lands, money and power which has been given to him, is just by way of trial. Man has always pride on that. So the words Maliki Yawmiddin is a warning to man, reeling in his forgetfulness and self-conceit, that all his possessions, all his relationship with things and men are only short-lived, and that there shall come a day when masters will no more be masters, and slaves will no more slaves,